The cat.
The cat. Our starting position is on the hands and knees. The basic movement is rounding and arching the back. We add the lifting of the legs, one at a time, and end up with a series of 4 movements that are repeated a few times. Remember to look for greater ease with each repetition, to keep to a comfortable range and rhythm, coordinate the movement with your breath, and aim for a natural feeling movement. Another variation is lifting each leg separately. As you move, stick to a feeling of secure balance. Avoid stretching. Remember that gentler movements will yield more benefits. And recognize the many benefits that come from timely rest. Next, we will add turning the head, looking over the shoulders. The first variation is looking over the same side. So when you lift the left leg, you look over the left shoulder. And when you lift the right leg, you look over the right shoulder. Essential points for the cat are to coordinate the breath to assist with your movement, to allow movement in the knees, to get the whole back to participate in each movement, and to shift the weight. Next variation is looking with the head over the opposite shoulder. This is a little bit more difficult. And a little bit of balancing, lifting an arm and a leg of opposite sides. So with the left leg, the right hand, and with the right leg, the left hand. This is the easier of the balancing variations. The next variation of balancing is lifting an arm and leg of the same side. And then, of course, switching to the other side. Returning to the first side, we have a more difficult variation, lifting the arm and the leg, and then turning sideways, like opening a door on a hinge, and then closing it again, and doing the other side. Returning again to the hands and the knees. Let me mention that it is possible to lift one leg and 2 arms. Takes a lot of balance. And one more variation called wagging the tail. We turn to look at the left hip and turn to look at the right hip, letting the weight shift clearly from one side to the other. This helps to bend the whole spine sideways, and we'll complete the cat for today. Please sit back, take a nice deep breath, and rest.
Leg circles.
Circles with the legs. Starting point is sitting with the right leg straight in front and the left foot in both hands. The basic movement, with the help of the hands and the leg, circle the left foot around the right knee. You can switch legs to stay comfortable whenever you feel like it. The essential points are to make sure that the right knee is at the exact center of the circle, and you can move the right leg if you need to, and allow the pelvis, back, and the shoulders to move freely. You can do circles clockwise and counterclockwise. You can switch the legs, so there is no difficulty and no tiredness. You can do small circles around the knee. You can do large circles, depending on your flexibility. You can do low circles, close to the knee, close to the floor. And you can do high circles at the level of the belly, the chest, or even the face. Remember to look for greater ease with each repetition, to keep to a comfortable range and rhythm, to coordinate the movements with your breath, to look for a natural feeling movement, to stick to feeling secure balance, to avoid stretching, to remember that gentler movements will yield more benefits, and to recognize that many benefits come from timely rest. We also have some variations of vertical circles. We can do small circles. Notice that vertical circles are always down and away from you, and then up and closer to you. Gradually, as the circle increases in size, you can bring the big toe to touch the nose, and the nose to touch the big toe. So everything folds to come closer to that. An even larger circle, you can get the bottom of the foot to caress the top of the head. And of course, this will be done with one leg and the other. One more variation is the free leg, the one you are not holding, to bend it. And this will make it easier for some people and harder for other people. For those who find it difficult to sit directly on the floor like that, you can sit on a pillow for this warm-up. It will make the movement a lot easier to do. Let go of that. Take a nice deep breath.
Head movements.
Head movements. The starting point is in sitting. You can sit any way you like, including sitting in a chair. These movements can even be done in standing. There is no basic movement because all the movements are different from each other. Let's begin by turning to look right and left. Remember to look for greater ease with each repetition and to keep to a comfortable range and rhythm. Allow the whole spine to participate in the movement of the head, all the way from the tailbone to the neck. Let the movements be felt in the pelvis, knees, ankles, and feet. Here, it is more important than ever to move very gently. Return to the center and bend the head forward and back, bringing the chin towards the chest bone and then taking the back of the head as though you want it to touch between the shoulder blades. Coordinate the movement with your breath. Avoid stretching. Look for a natural feeling movement. And keep to a feeling of secure balance. Return to the center and bend the head side to side, bringing the right shoulder towards the right ear and then the left shoulder to the left ear, going from side to side, letting the spine bend, the rib cage fold, the hips move. Remember that gentler movements will yield more benefits. And also recognize that many benefits come from timely rest. Return to the center and take a deep breath. Let's bend the head in circles all the way around, forward and to the side and backwards and to the other side. A few circles in one direction. And a few circles in the opposite direction. Make sure to avoid stretching. And again, return the head to the center. Take a deep breath. Let's do 3 more movements. Moving the head forward and back. The face remains towards the wall in front of you. This is a little bit similar to the way that a chicken pecks. Return to the center again. Move the head right and left. Again, the face remains in the same direction. It does not turn, but moves as one unit, just the way that belly dancers do. Return the head to the center again. And move like a turtle, sticking the head in, down between the shoulders, and then up very tall. We call it a turtle head. Sinking it in between the shoulders and reaching with it towards the ceiling. Again, return the head to the center and take a nice deep breath. There are more advanced circles that we can do. They are possible to do, but we won't show them today.
Taking the pelvis forward and back.
taking the pelvis forward and back. The starting position is on the hands and the knees. The basic movement is to move the pelvis forward towards the floor and then backwards towards the heels. The essential points are to look for greater ease with each repetition, to keep to a comfortable range and rhythm, to coordinate the movement with your breath, to aim for a natural feeling movement, to stick to a feeling of secure balance, to avoid stretching, to know that gentler movements will yield more benefits, and to recognize that many benefits come from timely rest. Essential points for this specific warm-up are to keep the elbows straight the whole time, to find a place for the hands that is good for both parts of the movement, and to make sure you do not strain the lower back. So this is the basic movement, and the variations include bringing the pelvis more towards the right heel, and we'll do that a few times. Bringing the pelvis more towards the left heel, and we'll do that a few times. This is a great opportunity to see that the two sides are not symmetrical. For a little bit, a few movements, alternate, going to the right heel and then going to the left heel. This way you can notice the difference between the right side and the left side more clearly. And the last variation are circles with the pelvis. They are not precise circles. And as your movement becomes larger, they will become more of an oval than a circle. The pelvis does the circles in one direction a few times, and then changing direction, and doing circles in the opposite direction. A simple warm-up that takes care of all the joints in the body, with the exception of the elbows that remain straight. You will notice in the original variation that the feet move. Inside and out. The idea is to let the pelvis, the knees, the legs be free enough for this movement to happen on its own, rather than doing it deliberately. And this is it.